What price would you pay for lottery? For Ama, a beautiful young woman from a small Nigerian village, the answer was nearly her life. Blinded by dreams of wealth and dazzled by a mysterious businessman's gifts, she ignored all the warning signs until it was almost too late. This is no ordinary love story. It's a chilling tale of ambition, deception, and the dark underworld of ritual sacrifice that lurk beneath flashy cars and expensive promises. The story I'm about to tell you has been whispered from mother to daughter across generations as a warning. Be careful what you wish for, and be even more careful about who offers to give it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the price of ambition. A true Nigerian cautionary tale that might just save your life. Before we begin, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more African folktales and their modern interpretations. Now, let's journey to a small Nigerian village where our story begins. In a small rural Nigerian village in southeastern Nigeria, lived a young woman named Ama. She was blessed with extraordinary beauty that turned heads wherever she went. Her skin glowed like polished mahogany in the sun, and a smile could light up the darkest nights. But Ama's beauty was both a blessing and a curse. From an early age, Ama had been told about her beauty. Elders of the village would comment to her mother, "This one will marry well." Young men would find excuses to pass by her father's compound. By the time she was 20, many suitors had approached her father to discuss marriage arrangements. But Ama had other ideas. Unlike many girls in her village, she had received some education in the missionary school. She had seen magazines from the city showing gleaming skyscrapers, fancy cars, and women dressed in beautiful clothes. These images had planted seeds of ambition in her heart. Ama would often say to herself, "Why should I marry a farmer or a local teacher when I deserve so much more? I am beautiful enough to catch the eye of a wealthy businessman from the city. I want a big house with servants, not a mud hut where I must fetch water from the stream every morning." Many respectable men from the village had asked for Ama's hand in marriage. There was Emeka, the school teacher, who had built a small concrete house with a corrugated iron roof, a sign of prosperity in the village. There was Chidi, the farmer who owned the largest yam farm in the district. And there was even the son of the village chief, who was studying to become a doctor in the city. But Ama refused them all. Her mother grew concerned. Ama's mother would say, "My daughter, beauty fades like the morning mists. It is character and hard work that build a good home. These men who approach you are respectable. They may not have fancy cars or big houses in the city, but they will provide for you and treat you with respect." Ama would reply dismissively, "Mama, you don't understand. Times have changed. I want more than just a respectable husband. I want to live in luxury, not spend my days pounding yam and washing clothes in the river." Ama's mother would shake her head sadly, knowing that her daughter's ambitions could lead her down dangerous paths. She had seen other beautiful girls from the village lured to the city with promises of wealth and glamour, only to return broken or not return at all. But Ama would not listen. She continued to dream of a wealthy suitor who would sweep her away from village life into a world of luxury. Ama often visited her friend Ada, who lived in the neighboring town. Ada was more worldly, having lived in the city for some time before returning to care for her aging parents. She understood Ama's aspirations, but also recognized the dangers that lurked in the city. One sunny afternoon, as the two friends walked along the dusty main road heading to the local market, a sleek black Mercedes-Benz slowed beside them. The tinted windows rolled down, revealing a handsome man with a dazzling smile. Ada whispered, "That is Obinna. He has a reputation around here. He is very wealthy, but there are many rumors about the source of his riches." Before Ama could ask more, Obinna had stepped out of his car. He was impeccably dressed in a tailored suit that looked like a cost more than what most villagers earn in a year. Gold gleamed on his wrists and fingers, and his shoes shone in the sun. Obinna said in a smooth, confident voice, "Good afternoon, beautiful ladies. I couldn't help but notice you both. My name is Obinna. I'm in town on business and would be honored if you would join me for drinks at the Royal Palm Hotel." Ada hesitated, but Ama's eyes lit up at the mention of the Royal Palm, the most luxurious hotel in the area. Before Ada could object, Ama had accepted the invitation. At the hotel, Obinna ordered expensive drinks and food without even glancing at the prices. He spoke of his business ventures in Abuja, his trips to Dubai and Europe, and his plans to expand his empire. Ama was captivated, while Ada remained cautious, noticing how Obinna was vague about the exact nature of his business. Obinna turned to Ama and said, "I find you fascinating. Would you honor me with a dinner date tomorrow? Just the two of us." Ama eagerly accepted. For the next 3 weeks, Obinna courted Ama with an intensity that left her breathless. He took her to expensive restaurants, bought her designer clothes, and showed her glimpses of the life she had always dreamed of. Ama thought to herself, "This is it. This is the man I've been waiting for. He can give me everything I've ever wanted." Each time Ama returned home from a date with Obinna, her mother noticed the growing collection of expensive gifts, a handbag that cost more than 3 months of a teacher's salary, gold earrings, perfumes with foreign names Ama couldn't pronounce. Ama's mother would say with concern, "My daughter, these gifts are too much too soon. What does this man want in return? Have you met his family? Does he respect our traditions?" Ama would reply dismissively, "Mama, you are old-fashioned. This is how modern relationships work in the city. Obinna respects me. He's just generous because he can afford to be." But Ama's mother couldn't shake her concerns. In their village, proper courtship involved family meetings, background checks, and gradual gift-giving that symbolized respect and serious intentions. Obinna's lavish spending without meeting Ama's family were against everything. 3 weeks into their whirlwind romance, Obinna invited Ama to accompany him on a business trip to Abuja, the capital city. Obinna said charmingly, "My dear Ama, I have to go to Abuja for some important meetings. I can't bear the thought of being away from you for even a few days. Come with me. I'll show you the city life you've always dreamed of." Ama was thrilled. This was a chance to finally see the big city, to experience luxury beyond what their local area could offer. She ran home to tell her mother the news. Ama exclaimed, "Mama, Obinna has invited me to Abuja. We'll leave in 2 days." Ama's mother replied with alarm, "Abuja? With a man you've known for only 3 weeks? Absolutely not. This is dangerous, Ama. You know nothing about this man." Ama said defiantly, "I'm 22 years old, Mama. I'm not a child. Obinna is a respectable businessman. Everyone knows him." Her mother replied firmly, "Knowing of someone is not the same as knowing them. Has he brought his people to meet us? Have we met his family? Do we know where he comes from? These are important questions, my daughter." They argued for hours. Ama's mother even called her brother, Ama's uncle, to try to talk sense into her. But Ama was determined. She saw this trip as a gateway to the life she had always wanted. Eventually, seeing that Ama would not be swayed, her mother reluctantly gave in, but with conditions. Ama's mother said with resignation but sternness, "You will call me as soon as you arrive in Abuja. You will give me the address and phone number of where you are staying, and you will call every day to let me know you are safe." Ama replied impatiently, "Yes, Mama, I will. But please don't worry so much. Obinna is a gentleman." As Ama packed her bags, her mother sat in the corner of their small home, her heart heavy with foreboding. She knew the stories of young beautiful girls who disappeared after meeting wealthy men with mysterious sources of income. But Amma was blinded by the promise of luxury and refused to see the warning signs. Amma's mother prayed quietly, "Chukwu, please protect my daughter. Open her eyes to see danger before it is too late." The day of departure arrived. Obinna pulled up in front of Amma's family compound in his gleaming Mercedes. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains and fences, some with envy, others with concern. Amma stepped out of her house wearing her finest dress, a small suitcase in hand. Her mother stood in the doorway, fear etched across her face. She approached Obinna's car cautiously. Amma's mother said to Obinna firmly, "Young man, I am entrusting you with my daughter. In our culture, this is a serious responsibility. We must ensure her safety and honor." Obinna replied smoothly, "Ma, I assure you, Amma will be treated with the utmost respect. We'll be staying at the Continental Hotel in Abuja. Here is my card with all my contacts. I will make sure she calls you as soon as we arrive." Something about a smile didn't reach his eyes, but Amma was too excited to notice. She hugged her mother goodbye, promising to call soon, and got into the car. As they drove away, Amma waved excitedly out the window. Her mother waved back, blinking back tears and silently praying for her daughter's safety. The first few hours of the journey were pleasant. Obinna played soft music and told Amma stories about his childhood and his rise to success. But as they drove further from familiar territory, Amma began to feel uneasy. They had been driving for hours, passing through villages and forests that seemed increasingly remote. Amma asked with concern, "Obinna, how much longer until we reach Abuja?" "I thought it was only a few hours drive." Obinna replied reassuringly, "Not much longer, my dear. I'm taking a shortcut. I know, it saves us from the terrible traffic on the main highway." But as the hours passed and the roads became increasingly deserted, Amma's unease grew into anxiety. The lush, populated areas had given way to sparse vegetation and dusty roads with no signs of habitation. She checked her phone. No signal. Amma said anxiously, "Obinna, this doesn't seem right. Where are we?" "I promised my mother I would call her when we arrived in Abuja." Obinna's tone changed softly. "Put your phone away. We are almost there. I have a surprise for you." The mention of a surprise momentarily distracted Amma from her growing fear. Perhaps he was taken her to a private resort, or maybe he had a special proposal planned. She tried to quiet her anxiety by imagining luxurious scenarios. But when they finally turned into a narrow, unmarked dirt road leading into a dense forest, Amma's heart began to race with fear. Amma said in panic, "Obinna, stop the car. This is not the way to Abuja. Where are you taking me?" Obinna's voice was now cold. "Be quiet. We are almost there." After driving down the dirt road for what seemed like an eternity, they arrived at a clearing. In the center stood a dilapidated building that looked more like the luxury hotels Obinna had promised. Two men emerged from the shadows, their expressions grim. Amma asked in terror, "Obinna, what is this place? Who are these men?" Obinna's charming mask was now completely gone. "This, my dear Amma, is where you will fulfill your purpose. Did you really think someone like me would be interested in a village girl like you for marriage? You were chosen carefully, young, beautiful, and most importantly, with few connections in the city who would ask questions." The horrible truth dawned on Amma. The rumors about Obinna were true. He was not a legitimate businessman, but someone involved in dark practices. The stories of ritual killings for wealth, money rituals as they were called, had always seemed like distant tales meant to frighten children. But now, Amma was living this nightmare. Obinna said coldly, "I'm sorry, Amma. You seem like a nice girl. but my wealth requires sacrifices. The native doctor requires a beautiful virgin for the ritual that will multiply my fortunes. It's nothing personal, just business. Ama's blood ran cold. She looked around desperately for a way to escape. The two men approached the car, ready to grab her. In that moment, Ama remembered her mother's warnings, her uncle's suspicions, and Ada's hesitation when they first met Obinna. All the signs had been there, but she had been blinded by ambition and its flashy lifestyle. As one of the men opened the car door, instinct took over. Ama shoved the door hard against him, knocking him off balance, and darted out the other side of the car. She ran toward the dense forest, her heart pounding in her ears. Obinna shouted, "Get her! She must not escape!" The men gave chase. But Ama ran like she had never run before. The forest was dark and full of obstacles, but fear gave her strength and speed. She could hear the men crashing through the underbush behind her. Just when she thought her lungs would burst, she heard a commotion and gunshots. Looking back, she saw one of the men had fallen, hit by an arrow. The other two men scattered in fear. From the shadows emerged an elderly hunter, his bow still raised. The hunter said in a local dialect, "Quickly, child, this way." Without hesitation, Ama followed the hunter deeper into the forest. He led her to a small settlement where other hunters lived. They gave her water and listened to her story with grave expressions. The hunter said solemnly, "You are not the first, child. Many beautiful young women have disappeared after meeting wealthy men with no clear source of income. Some are used for rituals, others are trafficked to other countries. You are fortunate to have escaped." The hunters helped Ama contact her family and escorted her back to her village. News of her narrow escape spread quickly, becoming a cautionary tale for young women with dreams of marrying wealthy strangers. Upon her return, Ama fell into her mother's arms, sobbing with relief and regrets. Ama said through tears, "Mama, you were right. I was foolish. I almost died because of my greed and ambition." Ama's mother held her daughter and said, "Shh, my child, you are home now. That is all that matters." In the days that followed, Ama learned that the police had been investigating Obinna for months. He was suspected of being involved in a ring that lured young women for ritual sacrifices and human trafficking. The authorities had received reports of similar disappearances in neighboring towns. The hunter who had saved Ama turned out to be part of a community watch group that patrolled the forest where several bodies had been found in the past. They had been tracking Obinna's movements after receiving tips about his suspicious activities. As Ama recovered from her ordeal, she reflected deeply on her choices and the values she had dismissed. Ama reflected, "I was so focused on wealth and luxury that I ignored all the warning signs. I thought the village values of patience, careful courtship, and family involvement were outdated, but they were meant to protect us." Months later, Chidi, the farmer who had once asked for Ama's hand in marriage, approached her again. This time, he came with his family, following all the traditional protocols. Although he didn't have a flashy car or designer clothes, he had integrity, kindness, and honest work. Ama saw him with new eyes. She appreciated his gentle manner, his respect for her family, and his patience. She realized that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in character, community, and love. They were married the following year. With their combined hard work and vision, they built a prosperous farm that employed many villagers. Ama started a foundation that educated young women about the dangers of getting involved with men of questionable wealth, and the importance of preserving cultural values that protect rather than restrict. Ama's story reminds us that not all that glitters is gold. In our modern world, where social media often showcases wealth without revealing its source, young people can be easily lured by the promise of instant luxury. This tale reminds us to question sudden wealth, to value the protective aspects of our cultures, and to recognize The true prosperity comes from honest work, integrity, and community. In Nigeria today, organizations work tirelessly to educate young women about human trafficking and ritual killings disguised as opportunities. They teach them to ask questions like, what does this person do for a living? Have I met their family and friends? Why are they lavishing gifts on me so quickly? If you found the story valuable, please share it with someone who might benefit from its message. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more African folk tales and their modern interpretations. Until then, stay safe and remember, true wealth is measured not by what you have, but by who you are.